Hello everybody, and welcome to Single Player Speeling. Today we'll be playing some Pokémon FireRed Nuzlocke Edition. Now, for today's spiel, I will be just spieling about generally what single player spieling will be about, which I know is not the most interesting spiel in the world, but hey, it's a thing. So, we'll be playing Pokemon FireRed, I think if you can probably notice. Um, so essentially, what single player spieling is it's a new series. Today I was just I had a generally good day, and I'll explain later why I started making today is the day I decided to start making this. But in general, I realized that oh god, this text speed is so slow. I'm not gonna read all this dialogue. I'm just gonna try to skip through it because I want to play some Pokemon. But anyway, today I sort of had this realization that I made this channel a long time ago with some friends, and we didn't upload for about 2 years, I think. So hey, why not? Now is as good a time as any to start making videos again. Um, the rules of Nuzlocke, I'll get into those a little bit later. But if you've seen our Nuzlocke versus we started on PF Games already between me and Newman, then you'll already know what like the general idea is. Ooh, now tell me, are you a boy or a girl? I'm gonna play as a boy in this one because in real life, surprisingly, I don't know if you can tell with my high ass voice, but I am a boy. Yeah. So what's my name gonna be? Um, let's go with my PF Games name. I don't know what to call this, but more. Spoilers. That's my last name. Uh, anyway, so genuinely, I want to start doing some more videos on this channel. I guess I'll try to get a schedule possibly, but hey, if not, I'll just do that. Whatever. Um, Now, single player spieling is a series that I literally came up with 5 minutes ago. Basically, what the idea is I will be giving spiels, because I mean, some people call me Steven Spielberg because I give so many weird spiels. I'm gonna name my rival Gary. But by a spiel, what I mean is basically a long conversation about one topic that's I wouldn't call it really a conversation because it's basically all just me talking. And I don't know, I like to just I delve into my philosophy. I don't usually think about it beforehand, so I just I start talking and then I just let my mind do the rest. It was an acting exercise I actually did because you know, I I wouldn't say I wouldn't call it dabbling around, but I am an actor. I've acted professionally. I've got some had some acting jobs. God, I cannot speak. But one thing I really liked was I took this one class, which was it was a class in absurdist style acting and writing like making pieces for an actor. And one thing that was really cool about it was oh, here we go, getting stopped by Oak. But one thing about this class was first day of class, he locked us all in a dark room, and the room was super dark except for this tiny little red light in the middle. It didn't like emit any light. It wasn't really much of a light source, but what it did do was it sort of gave us a little focus point to look at. We all just stared at this light, and then each of us it was like a 3 hour class, and we had a giant group of people. Each of us were given 15 minutes. 15 minutes we had to fill with pure uninterrupted speaking. And that's where I got the idea for spieling, because spieling is basically that. It's just giving a long monologue about whatever, like anything you want it to be about, really. So I started doing this with some people I know. Like, if you talk to anyone that I regularly hang out with, you'll know that I constantly go on these long spiels about anything, like literally anything. And usually I start in a place where I don't know anything about it. I just say a topic and then I start going from that. First half is usually bullshit. I'll start just bullshitting about it, and I'll keep doing that until I have a realization. Once I have that realization, I'll start having a little bit of an epiphany from it, and it just feels good. Back to the acting class. The acting class, the goal of it was to sort of give you it was to teach you what you really cared about, and what about theater, like, really drew you to it. So we were supposed to talk about something theater related, probably. And, one second, I'm just gonna really quickly change this text speed to get this to fast because I do not want to be sitting through this. So what they wanted us to do was they wanted us to figure out why we like theater and what kind of theater we should be doing because it would be how we talked. And I gave this long story about veganism, and I'll talk about veganism in a later spiel. So before I talk a little more, before I continue my spiel, I'm going to roll a dice right now. Roll a die actually, because it's only one dice, and I will be choosing my starter Pokemon. In Nuzlocke, almost everything you choose is random. These Pokemon, I don't. God, I am a big Pokemon fan, but I do not know which is in which ball. But this ball, 1 and 2. If the die lands on one or two, I'll pick this one. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, ready? You have to trust me on this one because you can't look at the dice. The die. Fuck. 5. Picking the third Pokemon. What is it? What is it? What is it? Ooh, Charmander. Okay, yes, I will take my fire Pokemon Charmander. Okay, before I continue my spiel about the acting class and all that stuff, I just want to really quickly say what my theme for this Nuzlocke is. I like having a theme when I play Pokemon. A team theme, kind of. In this piece, my theme will be Shakespeare, because I am a huge fan of William Shakespeare, and I love his work, and I recommend literally anyone reads some Shakespeare, because it's some of the most beautiful work out there. Now, I'll name all my Pokemon after a Shakespeare character, and that's sort of how I'll treat them. So this is a male Charmander. So, you know, Charmander's red, he's fire, and fire is also something that relates with passion, and the color red also relates with blood, and passion and blood, lots of those kind of combine into a character who would kill himself over love. So, in this Charmander, I know it's kind of an odd name to be naming him, but I'm gonna name him after a very generic Shakespeare character, Romeo. Wait, oh, I thought that was like the lowercase. Romeo from Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet is one of the most like it's the generic Shakespeare. It's the one that Shakespeare play that everyone knows. That's how you spell Romeo. I think that's how you spell Romeo. If it's not, hey, sue me. But even if you haven't read Shakespeare, you probably know the story of Romeo and Juliet. You know, lovers, star-crossed lovers, they can't be together because their families are apart, and they both kill themselves over that if in the end. Now, one thing that I really like about Romeo and Juliet is it handles the stereotypes so well. I don't mean that in any sort of like racial stereotype way. I mean that in a way like, you know, you have the lovers, and then you have Mercutio, who's the captain, who is also very, very, like, kind of cowardly and boisterous, and, you know, he's not really the most, like, responsible captain. And then there is Benvolio, the voice of reason, and Tybalt, the villain, and all these characters have such, you feel for these characters because they are so relatable, and you really do know them. Okay, this Pokemon battle, I'm just gonna scratch the hell out of this Squirtle. Oh my god. Oh, I should have named, I'm gonna name him Gary, actually, because I don't really want to go with Shakespearean names for my characters, but I could have named him Iago or something from Othello. Anyway, I'm gonna name my Charmander Romeo. Hopefully he will not kill himself. But hey, you know, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna finish up my talk about the acting class, and I'll start talking about what Nuzlocke exactly means and why I'm doing a Nuzlocke. Because I got a little more time to talk with you guys before I'm gonna end the episode off. Anyway, what my acting class was getting down to was this idea that, ooh, nice level up, that when you talk for a long time, your mind sort of goes onto this autopilot, and then eventually you start to just say your subconscious. And once you're saying your subconscious, and we had one guy writing all this stuff down, then you start to realize what you want to be talking about and what your body wants you talking about, not just what you think you want to be talking about. There are people out there who constantly think like, oh, I want to do this when I grow up, or I want to be like this kind of person, but they might not want to actually do that. Like, that's just what their mind is telling them, whereas they're subconsciously they may have a different belief, and just something about the world is making them not want to follow that. Oh, first Pokemon encounter. I'm not going to count this. Usually in Nuzlocke, you catch the first Pokemon in each route. I'm not going to catch this Pokemon just because, you know, I don't have a Pokeball yet, but I will go back on this route and I'll do a random encounter, and I will catch that thing, whatever it is. Anyway, so that's sort of how it is with what's it called? with the class. Oh god, I am losing it. So in the end, what I realized all the stuff I was want to talk about, and then the whole entire idea of Speeling came out of that. And in general, my spiels, I end up learning something from them, and that's mainly what the series is about. It's about me learning something. So, I mean, if you're watching this, have fun learning with me. Um, and maybe you'll learn something too. Hey, who knows? Observing people is one of the best ways to learn about the human experience. So, let's talk about Nuzlocke now. Nuzlocke is a style of playing Pokemon that is, I don't know, it's it's kind of like a hard difficulty for Pokemon. What you do is you essentially play the game as you would normally do, except if Pokemon faints in battle, that Pokemon is dead. You have to put in your PC and release it, and that's it's difficult. But there is another rule with this that makes it so you can't just go and catch a bunch of Pokemon. On each route, you can only catch one Pokemon, and that Pokemon has to be the first Pokemon you encounter on that route. So essentially, you have to, you know, you when you get on a route, whatever you catch, that's what you get, and you just basically collect one Pokemon per route and try to see how long you can keep each one alive. Work with what you have. I will be naming all my Pokemon because it makes me grow a little more emotionally attached to them. Although I probably won't be talking about Pokemon all that much in this, I really want to talk more about philosophy and the human experience and psychology, because there's so much interesting stuff in this world, guys. We take this world for granted so much because, it's a beautiful place, and it's good just to enjoy that beauty. And video games, they're a good thing to enjoy in the world. Anyway, so yeah, the reason I'm doing a Nuzlocke is just because I okay, I play Pokemon a lot, and I feel like just playing Pokemon, it's an intellectual experience. When you play Pokemon just regularly, it's about building a team, having a strategy, having personalities for all your Pokemon, connecting with all of them, and really making some synergy. Okay, I'm gonna catch my first Pokemon right here, actually, guys. So let's see what it is. Pidgey. Rattata. Okay, I'll work with it. I can work with a Rattata. I'm gonna think what I'm gonna name this while I'm gonna quickly. I think I could take a scratch. It'll take another scratch. It can take another scratch. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Also, if you kill the Pokemon that you first encounter, you cannot catch anything on that route, which is the worst possible outcome. So let's go in my bag and let's pull out a Pokeball. Come on, Rattata. Please, just one Pokeball. Don't make this difficult for me, man. And there we go. Rattata was caught. Rattata, whatever you want to call it, man. It's, you know, you shouldn't be worrying about pronouncing each of these words because, it's not really that important. Anyway, this Rattata, you know what? I'll name this one in the next episode. So there's your incentive to watch the next episode. You can see what I'm going to name my Rattata. Tomorrow's episode, I'll be having a nice little spiel about the celebration of failure. Thank you very much. Goodbye.